Is this Disney's biggest disaster ever? Snow White 2025 was supposed to be a nostalgic billion-dollar reimagining. Instead, it's a full-blown catastrophe. Empty theaters, merchandise pulled, and fans absolutely torching the star, Rachel Zegler. So what happened? And how did one of Hollywood's most bankable brands crash this hard? Stick around, because the truth behind this flop is more insane than anyone expected. Let's start with the numbers, because they're brutal. Snow White 2025 reportedly cost over $250 million to make, not even counting marketing, and yet it debuted to nearly empty theaters across the country. IMDb scores have dipped to a shocking 1.0 out of 10. Some screenings were so empty, fans joked there were more dwarfs on screen than people in the seats. And here's the kicker, there weren't even real dwarfs, but that's just the beginning. Fans expected a magical visual experience. What they got was a CGI mess. Instead of the seven dwarfs we all know, audiences were treated to bizarre digital creations that barely resembled anything charming or coherent. Critics called the movie an unsettling fever dream, with disjointed cuts, inconsistent tone, and jarring edits that feel like three different movies stitched together. The cause? Rumors say the film went through 3 rounds of reshoots, desperately trying to fix a script that was broken from day one. But instead of fixing it, they shattered it. A lot of the backlash is landing squarely on Rachel Zegler. Even before the film came out, she was giving interviews that rubbed people the wrong way. She mocked the original story, insisted her Snow White didn't need a prince, and went viral for saying, "If I'm in the dress for 18 hours, I want to get paid for 18 hours." Instead of promoting the film, she seemed to be distancing herself from it and from the fans. One commenter said, "She's checked every box of what audiences can't stand about modern Hollywood: arrogant, out of touch, and completely ungrateful." Disney tried to modernize Snow White, but fans say they missed the mark. The love story? Deleted. The prince? Sidelined. The message? Loud and clear. This isn't your grandma's fairy tale. But while some praised the attempt at empowerment, others saw it as hollow and forced. Even die-hard Disney supporters began to turn, accusing the studio of prioritizing ideology over story. And the result is a film that doesn't seem to know what it wants to be, or who it's for. Behind the scenes, Disney seems to be panicking. According to insiders, merchandise linked to the movie is being quietly pulled from stores or never even launched. Some product lines were shelved before the premiere. Marketing efforts were also scaled down dramatically once early buzz turned toxic. It's a move that signals something serious. Disney knew this was going to bomb and tried to minimize the fallout. As if the backlash wasn't enough, old interviews with Rachel Zegler resurfaced, making things even worse. She made headlines last week for accusing West Side Story producers of racial bias, claiming she had to prove her Latina identity on set. Critics slammed her for being divisive and ungrateful, especially since it was that role that launched her entire career. Online sentiment? Brutal. Viewers are calling her two and done, saying she sabotaged Snow White and tanked her future in Hollywood. Now the spotlight has shifted to Disney's top brass, especially Bob Iger. Investors are fuming. Fans are outraged. And insiders say trust in Disney's live-action remake strategy is eroding fast. Iger tried to spin it, claiming Disney's goal is to entertain, not push messages. But the numbers say otherwise, and Wall Street doesn't care about excuses. At this point, Snow White 2025 might go down as the biggest financial failure in Disney's modern history. The takeaway? You can update a fairy tale, but you can't forget how to tell a good story. Snow White 2025 was supposed to empower. Instead, it confused, alienated, and ultimately disappointed. From the awkward dance scenes and lack of romance to the heavy handed messaging and chaotic editing, the film feels like a checklist of how not to handle a beloved classic. Fans didn't reject the film because it was different. They rejected it because it was poorly made. And now, even a recognizable name like Snow White isn't enough to guarantee success. So, was this the flop that finally wakes Disney up? Or will they keep doubling down on remakes that forget what made the originals special? Let us know what you think. Was Rachel Zegler unfairly blamed, or did she play a major role in the disaster? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got more breakdowns coming on Hollywood's biggest meltdowns.